I love that. I love that. Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on the time of day, wherever you're joining us from. My name is Prelvis, Crypto Bull Lofties. Like I said, also known as the Crypto Bull. I will be your moderator, your host for the Switch Node today, for the Switch Node presentation today. I am a Switch Node owner, and I'm one of, just like you, one of the community members. Or if it's any people that are out there that are not a community member or a Switch Node owner, please, please, please take heed to what we're talking about. So first and foremost, let me apologize to everyone because there was some scheduling conflicts. So I believe the hour had to be moved back. So I just want to take that time and opportunity to apologize to everyone for that. So as a special note, any questions that you guys may have, please contact our Switch support or contact our support team through live chat on our help center for the Q&A at the end of the message. And Brad Willden, he will, or Willden, I hope I'm saying that right, Brad.
You said it right. I didn't approve of the video. You can say my name however you want, but that video, I don't know if I approved of that.
Hey, you know what, Brad? I got one question for you and Miss Roberts. Can you actually dance like? Can y'all actually dance like that in real life?
Yeah, Kathy can, but I can't.
I have no rhythm.
So both of y'all have two left feet. Well, listen, just to kick this off, I want to tell a story, right? And how nodes changed my life and how it's relatable for me, right? And this may be in turn relatable for you guys as well. Where I come from, the sticks of Tennessee. To this day, my town still has no traffic lights, right? The closest thing to traffic lights we have are blinking railroad lights, right? So enlisted in the Navy at 17, did 20 plus years. So I am a retired vet, retired out of the Navy. And, you know, I became exposed to crypto back in late 2017, early 2018. Actually, it was middle of 2017. And it has to do also with crypto education as well. So fast forward to where we are now. I am a node owner, community member. I love this space. I love what it's done for my life, how it's changed my life, how it's changed my family's life. And you also can be a part of it as well. So today, we have speakers. We have some awesome speakers from an awesome team from the Switch team, right? We have Adrianne Miller. She's the, what was it called? I wrote it down yesterday. I'm sorry, I can't remember. The Bank Secrecy Act, the BSA, and anti-money laundering compliance officer. She's the glue that keeps everybody in check. She's the legal person that keeps everybody honest, right? So we also have Rylan Evans, who is the director of product. So you're going to hear from him. Mr. J. Anderton, I'm sorry. He's the executive VP of Operations. And he's also one of my military veterans. So I appreciate your service, sir. And Mr. Nick Bernard, he's the project manager. And I looked at that wrong the other day. I thought that says Scrum Master. I'm like, what's a Scrum? I'm like, he's a master.
I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it in a minute here.
All right, I appreciate that, Nick. Please clarify that, Scrum. So I remember I'm a country boy, so I may brush over some letters. I don't know if I have dyslexia that hasn't been diagnosed yet or what, but I'm just saying. And my man, Mr. Scott Touchton, we've been in contact with each other, the last few days leading up to this. Quick story. Scott has been trying to get me to do this for the last few months. I don't know, maybe the last 4 or 5 months, I guess. Not that I didn't want to do it. It's just I'm so busy now since I fired my boss, and I love what I do as far as educating others about crypto and how it can change your life, as far as changing your mindset and things of that nature. I wasn't blowing him off. I hope he never felt that way, but it was just I was so busy and our schedules was in constant conflict. And of course, The person I have a tremendous amount of respect for, Mr. Brad Willden. He's the president and COO, the chief operating officer. Brad has a 20, I guess, plus year background in the banking industry. So I'm assuming he's no longer on banking hours. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but anyway, we're here and we're going to kick it off with our first speaker today, Miss Adrianne Miller. Oh, one more thing. Thank you for putting this on the screen. So one thing, please, you know what? I'm not even going to beg you. It will be in your best interest. I'll put it like that. It will be in your best interest to hang around until the end of this broadcast. Why? Because as you see on the screen, we have Switch Light Notes giveaway. First person to retweet our latest Twitter post. Second, first person to repost our latest Instagram post to their story and tag us in it. It's a giveaway. And as you see just on the screen, hey, this is big. Like I said, and what we have here, you know, just a little quick down and dirty on the Queen Bee herself, Miss Kathleen Roberts. She is a trailblazer. Just wanted to give that little quick. You're not playing around with anyone who doesn't know this industry and know how we're changing and how this industry is changing and going into basically crypto and blockchain technology. That's what it all boils down to. So without further ado, we'll get to our first speaker. Oh, I keep getting this, the disclaimer. So in a nutshell, if you guys want to go back and read this, basically with any heavy lift, I'm just going to summarize this. With any heavy lift program or platform like this, you can expect things to happen when they say they're going to happen. But what I can tell you is Switch has been pretty good as far as following their roadmap. So you guys read that for yourself. And then of course, the disclaimer at the bottom, the rewards are not available for purchase from Switch. They are digital rewards earned in exchange for work and action on Switch network. So you can go on and read that, but it's just basically a disclaimer talking about the rewards of Switch. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. So the first person I want to announce coming to the stage or coming front and center is Miss Adrianne Miller. And I just learned the small world, big state. She's from the Lone Star State. So I just found out she's also from the 361 area code, which so hopefully we will be meeting very soon. 361 from the Corpus. She's near Victoria area here in Texas. So I hope in the next coming weeks, I'll be able to meet her, have the pleasure of meeting her face to face. And like I said, she is the nuts and bolts of Switch as far as from a legal standpoint, holding everyone together, make sure everyone is in compliance and things of that nature. So here she is, Miss Adrianne Miller.
Thank you, Prelvis. That's a good introduction. I'm Adrianne. I am the compliance officer, as you guys just heard. So a couple things I want to talk about, with the community is the last couple of weeks, actually the whole month of November, you've seen our industry in the headlines, not necessarily all favorable. But, at Switch, we've been working very hard to make sure everything that we have communicated that we are doing and, it's being done in some, capacity. So first things first, I want to say thank you to all of our node owners who took the time to vote on the charter. That was a major milestone for us last week, and your vote mattered. And so with that, I can say, the charter passed and was approved by our community, which leads us to the next step is launching our blockchain. So hopefully in the very, very, very near future, we will be able to announce that our blockchain has been launched. And so that is so exciting for us and should be for you guys who are members of our community. Once that blockchain is launched, we'll then be able to do the token distribution, which it will be another major milestone for Switch. So if you've been around for a member of the community for a while, you know this is a long time coming, and everyone should be, you know, pretty excited for this. The next thing, just want to give you guys all a heads up. If you've received our Switch board, which is our newsletter, called the Switchboard, there is a compliance corner section of that newsletter. And going forward, we'll put in tidbits and some compliance information in that section. So two of the major things that happened since we last talked. One, we've updated the light paper. So you can go out to the website and have access to the light paper. If you've read our charter, the light paper update was actually in your benefit. We added another action item. So it was a benefit to you, members of the community, and you can read all about it in our light paper. And then second, we've updated our terms of service, or our terms and conditions. So that was due to, we are constantly building and developing and bringing products and services to you as members of the community. And so what comes along with that is just making sure you guys understand the obligations of us and the responsibility of you as the user to be on the platform. So, you know, two major things from a compliance perspective. You know, compliance is not all, you know, fun for everyone, but it is something that we must do. And, you know, my job here at Switch is to make sure that, you know, everything is being taken care of and everything is being done with the most, you know, moral character, and making sure we're following the regulatory requirements that have been handed down to us. So that's really all that I have for you guys. Just want to say, you know, big things are coming and we are so excited, and you'll hear a whole lot more about token distribution. You'll hear about some of the products that we're, you know, bringing on with some of the other speakers. Back to you.
Great. I appreciate that, Adrianne. So I saw in that slide that was something about a community vote. Can you explain that a little more, as far as if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, definitely can. So as part of the bringing up the blockchain, we have to vote on the charter, and the charter is the roles and responsibilities of the blockchain. You know, and so last week the charter was published and was sent out to all community members. If we had your email address as being a node owner, you had the right to participate, to read the charter, to make sure you understand and agree to the charter, and voted on the charter. And so that is actually what happened last week. And, you know, as I said, you know, that vote happened and everyone voted yes or approved. So therefore we can move to the next steps of actually launching a blockchain.
So that's great. That means that this is a community-driven project, which means the community has a buy-in, and which also means that your vote counts, meaning yes, the community vote. I think that's very important. I mean, thank you.
I just want to say one thing, just kind of out of our agenda here, Prelvis, but what's awesome, and the whole point of blockchain is to be decentralized. And this helps us become and move towards a decentralized blockchain. And that's the whole purpose of that. It's ran by the community, and the blockchain has the votes. If you're a node owner, you have the ability to vote on what is being done in the blockchain. And so we're following that path. We're doing the right things and the things that you're supposed to set up a true and correct blockchain. So that the charter is a step in that process, and we're very excited. It passed with 100%, so everyone voted yes. So appreciate those of you that voted, and sorry, I'll let you keep on the agenda, Prelvis.
No, it's all great. I love this, because all this does is just add more exposure how great Switch is, and we are moving in the right direction. And just with the community involvement, knowing that they have a voice in this, it means, you know, it speaks volumes, you know, Whereas other companies, they may, you know, people that are part of the community may not have that voice. So I think that's important to mention that and to even expound on. So if nothing else, we're going to move on. Mr. Rylan Evans. So Mr. Rylan Evans, he is the product director. He has also been involved with developing independent apps. So I don't know much, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about Rylan, but we're gonna let him get on here and explain his piece of the puzzle and basically just take it away, Rylan.
Thank you. Thank you. So first, let's start with a note that I do not normally sound like this. I've lost my voice. I think it's because I was cheering at some local events. My wife thinks it's definitely because I've caught the cold and it's that time of year. So I hope you guys can hear me okay. I introduced myself last time in the community call. So we'll skip that today, but I'm one of the new members to the Switch team. I love the opportunity and being a part of this product and seeing where it goes. So Zach has some, if you can see on screen, by the way, in my video, you'll notice I have a background this time. So apparently I've earned the background because this was a running joke for a while that I had to earn it. So I'm so grateful that I made the cut and be a part of the team.
Barely, you barely made the cut.
Yeah, can we mute him, Zach, please? So I'm going to share today the Switch Exchange. So on screen, you're seeing some screenshots of the before and after. On the left, you'll see kind of what it used to look like in what we're calling our legacy build. And then on the right of each of these screenshots, you can see an example of what's going to, a sneak peek of what's coming. So the best part is some cool little animations and a fan that you can see that's being animated in that GIF. That's just one of many things that's kind of giving it an uplift and making it feel like a real product instead of just this hacked together and thrown together product that just is functional, but now it's also pretty too. So it's much more than just lipstick on a pig for me. This is an actual racehorse that you could be proud of and tell your peers and network and say, hey, this is a valid company because we have compliance. We got the right checks and balances in place. It also has the right network and the people internally to make it from a architectural standpoint and the technical capabilities that we bring. But the fact that it looks good now too, it can bring a lot of credibility. So I'm really excited to share a couple of the new things. So starting from the left, you can see the drop down used to be just simply buy, sell, swap. Now we have a cool fan. And then going to the right, you can see that when you were in your trade wallet and you wanted to do any kind of exchange with your crypto, you can see what it used to be as a simple drop down. Now it's an actual an accordion that drops down with a cleaner UI. Same thing with cash. If you wanted to send or receive, we clean that up by saying withdraw, deposit, and history. So it's a little bit more better vocabulary that people are used to instead of just send and receive, or more importantly, in the last one where it says ACH push and pull, like who knows what that means? Now we have a better user interface to show you. On the right-hand side of that, you can see clearly, oh, it means adding a debit card or linking it to your bank, or doing a wire transfer, or you're actually doing a bit deposit. So that clarity is so helpful for a user rather than guessing, like, what is this poll gonna do? So they'll know right at first glance. Next slide. You'll also see some other examples of sending, selling, buying. Each one of those, I'm not gonna go through it all, but you can see just by aesthetics alone, they look much cleaner. And the user can now be in control with a click of a button. We even have some cool animations when it comes to our Switch logos being turned around like you saw on the fan. So I'm really excited to bring the beta team our new product by the end of this year and going into the new year and getting close to launching it to the general public in Q1. So these are just a couple of things. The last picture is, your deposit. It's very clear what you deposit, how much you're depositing, where it's going. And it all, at the end of the day, it's how do you gain more money? So that's the exchange. Lots of cool things coming for the product. And this is just many things. So Jay has the next evolution of what do you do with that money then?
Thank you, Rylan. All right, so Rylan was just showing you the exchange. that we currently have that's in beta testing, and then he also gave you the look of what 2.0 is. Yeah, but how does Switch create utility, for the exchange? What makes Switch different is the question that I'm going to hopefully answer in the next couple of moments. First, I want to remind everyone that no cryptocurrency is loaded onto the Switch debit card. Rather, all of the assets are converted to local fiat currency before loading onto the Visa network. So I'll take care of my disclaimers there. Okay, that said, once it is in cash, we should be able to transfer that money fast, right? All right, next slide, Zach. This video will show the Node Exchange web app alongside the iOS card management app. So there's two apps being demonstrated in this video. First thing I'd like for you to do is note that the video shows on the right that the card management app shows $2,376.31 when I did this recording earlier this morning. All right, please play our demonstration recording of the top up feature. Here, I click on the function button associated with my cash queue. Then I select send. This brings up a pop-up that allows you to send cash to your Visa card management app account. Given that you're sending money outside of your trading wallet, we will ask to confirm. How that happens is we send you a text. Here you can see that I'm going to type yes, and it will get a confirmation. Switch takes the security of your funds seriously. We have human analysts as well as third-party software checking transactions, looking for fraudulent behaviors and abuse. You can see here at the top, received the transfer, peer-to-peer came from Switch deposit. The value has increased the amount of that 2,376 is now 2,386. The $10 from the sale of the cryptocurrency is now in my debit account and is ready to be spent on pizza, pay your bills, whatever it may be from your spending wallet. I also wanted to demonstrate one particular function, so maybe Prelvis could help me. If everybody would open up their Switch card app, or at least those of you who have it, and say, if you'll go, the first screen that pops up is normally going to be your spending wallet screen. Of course, interestingly enough, we're doing a live demo and mine's now sitting and spinning. Okay, it opened. Woo, thank goodness. Right? But so if you go and you look, there's a little emblem on the top that kind of reminds me of the old Switch emblem. It's two arrows chasing each other's tails, and there's a dollar symbol in the middle. So if you click on that Switch logo almost, it gives you the move money function. Within that move money function, at the bottom, it says to a friend. In this case, you can either put a mobile phone number or an email for another Switch user. So I'm going to put Prelvis. I'm going to select, I want it to come from my spend wallet. As a matter of fact, Prelvis and I were in Texas for a conference. Let's say that Prelvis and I had went to dinner and I didn't have any cash on me, but we were going to split the bill. And so I said, well, Prelvis, you pay for it, and then I'll send you some cash. And that scenario, or, Prelvis being in Texas, me being in Utah, we're miles and miles apart. This scenario could also work. So I put in an amount here to hit, and then, all right, Prelvis, if you're ready, I'm going to hit send.
Okay, I'm holding up. Can you see that? I know it just buzzed.
Blurry. It's blurry because it's focusing on your face.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
You
Right there.
can see
If
the
you
little
could put it
red
up a
dot.
little bit.
You can see the little red dot in the corner with the bell, means that it's already arrived. And so he's actually now able to use that money inside of his spend wallet within literally and almost instantaneously, he's now able to use that money from that dinner and be able to, spend and again, pay for utility bills, buy pizza, whatever he needs to do. That's fast. I love that. As a matter of fact, it's becoming one of my favorite features because if nothing else, it facilitates community calls, sales calls, and then I have a couple of needy family members. But anyway, it'll say kids. But hey, for those, obviously the exchange and the card program is currently available in the United States. I am excited. We've actually done some cool things. We've seen some deals. For those of you who are international Switch customers, we are making good progress on the international prepaid card and over-the-desk trading counter. We're still sizing up the initial lift. We're still going through the dev documents and making sure that we're on. But I'm anticipating some exciting announcements at our next community call next month about the international program. Hey, listen, if you're not familiar with the card or you haven't bought the card, I highly recommend it. I love the black card, giving you an opportunity to earn extra points when that set of proof of actions goes live, and say, get with our customer staff. We'd love to help you. There's some videos recently that we were creating to help figure out what the card features are. If you're not using that P2P to send Prelvis money, you know, a tip or something for doing a great job on the community call, you know, get with him. He'll give you his phone number. We'll get Prelvis plussed up today. So appreciate you guys all from our upside of the house.
I appreciate that, Jay. That was great. And, you know, just like we did a little test run yesterday, I was like blown away at how fast this is. More so at how user-friendly the entire website or the entire app and how well it flows. It's user-friendly and it flows, if that makes sense. So, you know, we're all creatures of habit. We all, I think someone, anyway, I love how easy it is and how user-friendly, like I said, and how well it flows. So thank you for this, Jay. This is great. So our next person, we're gonna, if nothing else, we're gonna move on. So our next person we're gonna hear from is, like I said, the master of Scrum. Let me rephrase that, the master of Scrum. He's the Scrum master. And I'm just gonna let him take it away because I don't understand what it is he does. So this is a learning experience for me too. So take it away, Nick.
You know, it depends on who you're talking to if they call me the master of Scum. But I've introduced myself a few times. I'm a senior technical project manager, Prelvis, and in the world of software, we go by the term Scrum Master, and it comes from the world of rugby. If you're familiar, when all those tough guys get in the huddle and try to push that ball, these scrums are so powerful. These guys are known to move the earth. Well, if you watch the game closely, there's a couple guys that stand outside of that huddle. So I'm not the talent. I'm not the guys that can write the code, but it's my job. And the reason we call ourselves Scrum Masters is the Scrum Master in the game of rugby is to look into that scrum and to find the efficiencies that can get their team to move that ball forward. So in the world of project management, my real job is, let's say one of my senior engineers his time is much more valuable writing code than chasing something that's keeping him from writing code. And I do a daily meeting with my team saying, you know, what did we work on yesterday? What are we working on today? And is there anything standing in your way of success? And if we identify those things, whether it be myself or those engineers, I go fight that battle behind the scenes so they can stay at their desk writing code and we can deliver quicker. So that's kind of the genesis of the name Scrum Master. And I tell you, I have been with Switch almost a year now, and where we have been in that year has been such an incredible ride. One of the most special projects I feel I've ever been a part of. Today, they asked me to just talk a little bit about some of the fundamentals. I don't have a lot of fancy slides like my colleagues. And a lot of the people on this call, I feel, are not your average crypto community person. I see a lot of familiar names in the chat and I know who they are, but today they wanted me to talk a little bit about custodial versus a non-custodial wallet. Switch is such a fantastic product. We offer both. So one statistic I found out recently, I'm going to start with the custodial wallets. Prelvis, you talked about how your world changed a little over a year ago and you've been doing this crypto world for a little bit longer. So you're kind of an outlier. I'm more of the crowd that came late to the party as it started hitting the news with if people remember Dogecoin when it got all popular. So the statistic I read is that 90% of people that have bought a cryptocurrency have done so within the last year or since this big Dogecoin thing happened. So I count myself like a lot of the regular crypto traders out there that the first time I ever purchased a cryptocurrency, it was Dogecoin, and I did it through a centralized wallet or exchange. I used Coinbase. They're kind of the 800-pound gorilla out there along with Binance. Now, there's a lot of perks that come with trading through a centralized wallet like Coinbase. Now, what centralized means is it is highly tied, I'm just going to stay with Coinbase, to that company. You're trading through their exchange. There's going to be some fees that you see there. And for me, one of the biggest differences from the centralization, and I think the reason that most people start there is it's a little bit easier. If you lose your password, you can call Coinbase's customer service or send them an email saying, Can you help me reset my password? There's a little bit more hand-holding. Now, as we've seen in the news, a lot of people have talked about some of the things going on in the industry. We've seen groups like Celsius, which was an exchange or is an exchange, and FTX. Now, if you're part of a centralized exchange, when a company like a Celsius or an FTX has a rough period, they can pause your withdrawals from your centralized wallet because it's on their books. It's part of their assets. So I personally have about $500 in Celsius. They were running a promo that if I bought a certain amount of ETH, I'd get $50 in Bitcoin, and I wanted that Bitcoin. So it's still there. I still have my money, but currently they paused withdrawals. So a centralized wallet is really tied to an organization now. Where a lot of people, as I got further into the crypto scene, I now prefer my non-custodial wallet. And in Switch, in the videos that my colleagues have shown, is you saw two wallets in the video that Jay was holding. There was a rewards wallet. When your nodes earn points and rewards, the rewards will go into that rewards wallet when we start distribution. And that's where you'll accrue all your Switch coin. And then we also have what we call our crypto trading wallet, which is our centralized wallet. Now, the main difference I find is with our non-custodial wallets, you have 100% ownership of your crypto. Nobody can do anything with what is in that wallet. But also, it becomes very much a game of accountability. So with a non-custodial wallet, when you sign up, you're given a 12 to 24 seed phrase, 12 to 24 words. And you need to write that down on a piece of paper. And I know some people keep them in safe deposit boxes or somewhere where they're not going to lose it. You don't want to write these 12 to 24 words, however long the seed phrase is, on a piece of paper, and then lose it. You want to put it somewhere safe, like a safe deposit box or a locked drawer. But if you put it on your computer, like let's say you take a screenshot of it or you save it, hackers out there are becoming more and more engrossed in how they can get that. So it's your best interest to write it down on a piece of paper, because if a hacker was able to access your hard drive and find your seed phrase, that's the only time that this crypto would not be yours. And the two main ways to do a non-custodial wallet is like through Switch. We have a software or mobile experience where you can access it through a web app or a mobile app. There's also hardware wallets, where I know some people say the best thing you can do with your crypto is to buy a bunch of Ethereum or eventually Switch, whatever the asset is, put it on a hardware wallet and go bury it for 10 years and keep your key phrase and come back and it'll be in your best interest. Kind of like when you don't want to look at your 401k every day. The side note is I met a customer yesterday who had misplaced their 12 seed words to one of their Switch wallets. And luckily, this is a very successful gentleman, and I think he only had one smart node on there, but he just considers it lost, because if he doesn't have those 12 keywords, you can't call our customer service agents, who I truly feel are the best in the business. They have a one-day turnaround, a one-call resolution on almost everything. But if you call them and said, look, I lost my 12-word key phrase, they'd have to unfortunately tell you you're out of luck. And so there's a bonus to having that centralization, because you have a little bit more customer support when it comes to missing a password. But there's also the bonus on the non-custodial wallet of having that 100% ownership. I personally use a little bit of both, and it's kind of a personal preference. So that's kind of my spiel today. The extreme case of losing, some of you might have read about this in the news. There's a gentleman that lost a hard drive that had, at the peak, I think it was almost $1 billion of Bitcoin on it. He has the 12 keyword phrase, but somebody threw out his hard drive in a dump somewhere in Germany. He's asked the dump, I will pay you 10%, $70 million if you help me recover this hard drive. As yet, he doesn't have it. So like you said, there's perks, there's a lot of different ways you can go. But with the non-custodial wallet, the last thing I'll say is, it's your crypto, it's your keys. With the custodial wallet, you get a little bit more support, and the community, thankfully, Switch offers both. I'll turn it back to you, Prelvis.
Thank you so much, Nick. That was great. And I promise I will not call you the Scrum Master anymore after the explanation. So I appreciate it.
Thanks, boss.
That was awesome. that was awesome. That was a great breakdown as far as what you do as far as a project manager and and how everything coincides, how everything plays together. So I appreciate that. Next we have up to bat Mr. Scott Touchton. He's the VP of Sales and Marketing. So without further ado, I'm just going to let him take it away.
Thank you, Prelvis. Again, I just want to publicly thank you for coming on and doing this with us. Like you mentioned, we've been trying to get you on here for a couple months now. So I appreciate. Hope you don't mind my persistence, but thanks for joining us. And again, I apologize for the inconvenience of the rescheduled time. We do appreciate our community and appreciate everybody's time, and sorry for that reschedule. So one of the most commonly asked questions that we get, especially with some of the updates we've been rolling out, is about action points and their relationship and the ratio and how that's converted into calculating rewards. So I want to talk about that a little bit and to dive in a little bit and just a little bit more education on that topic. So on the next slide, what we've got is talking about where these action points are not the same thing as switch tokens. So action points are earned when action items, which are listed in the light paper, the action items are tasks that you on the blockchain can complete, and then those earn action points. Okay. So right now, the only action item that is being rewarded is was your node online for at least 6 hours a day. And then that earns you action points. The amount of action points that can be earned on the community is uncapped. That's based on how many people are in the community, how many actions are created every day. That number is completely uncapped based on the size of the community, could differ, grow. Okay. As far as the actual rewards tokens, that distribution is capped. That is according to our smart contract that was in the charter that was just voted on. There's a set distribution of tokens. And I do the math here, I break it down. So in year one, there will be a total distribution of 25 billion tokens. Okay. If you divide that out, that's 68 million and some change every single day. Okay. So to determine the ratio, because this ratio, it's not a set number. It's not every day, this many points equals this many tokens, because that number could change on every single day. So if you wanted to know how your daily distribution was calculated, it would be the total daily distribution. So right there, 68,493,150. That is the total daily token distribution in year one. And then it would be divided by your action points that you earned in that one day. So it would be a ratio, basically like if we've got a pie and there's a sliver of pie for each day. So we can't create any more pie. We just cut it up into different slivers based on the activity on the network, on the blockchain, based on the community. So that's how that's calculated. Again, it's not a set number. Because like the amount of action points that are earned on any day could vary. And next slide. So this is the light paper. If you've not read over the light paper is hosted on our website. That's the link right there. So in the back, this addendum A is actually the whole formula for the blockchain right there. It's laid out. You can go look at it. Again, action items completion equals earned action points. Again, the only thing that is being earned right now is was your node hosted online. All the future actions we talked about earlier about the blockchain being launched. That's got to happen first before these future action items come online. And as we showed in that checklist earlier that Adrianne showed, the blockchain getting launched online, is the next step towards that distribution. Again, I encourage you to go read the light paper, look at the formula. There's a lot of information. It's kind of like drinking from a fire hose. That's a phrase we say a lot, but all the information's there. And then, we got a shout out earlier. I'd like to give another one to our support team. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to support. Also, we do have a blog that was written on this topic about points versus rewards and goes into that a little bit more in detail. So again, reach out to support, read the light paper, check out the blog, and we'll answer any additional questions we have that we can help you with. And again, Prelvis, back to you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that that breakdown. Next person we're bringing up, he's the cleanup crew, the cleanup man. You know, he's up in the batter box now, Mr. Brad Willden. I have a lot of respect for him. As I said before, he has an extensive background when it comes to banking, although he's not, I'm pretty sure he's not holding those banking hours right now. But hey, when I first met Brad, you know, he was talking to a couple other people. This was in Austin at the Consensus 2022 earlier this year. He recognized me. Obviously, I'm easy to recognize, you know, like bald headed guy with a beard, with a huge beard, and his face just lit up. And, you know, he finished that conversation, came over, you know, spoke to me, you know, we immediately had a great connection. And, you know, he's the president and COO of Switch. So without further ado, Mr. Brad Willden, take it away.
Thanks, Prelvis. Make sure we pay you a little extra for all that stuff. So I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And I don't know why I get closer to my computer when I start talking. It's kind of like my wife's like, you don't need to talk louder when your speaker's on in your car. You just talk normal. It's okay. So I'll back away. So anyway, super excited to be here with all of you today. I love our community around the world. I love what we're doing here at Switch. I love our team. And yeah, you're right. My brother he used to tease me. He's a dentist, and he used to tease me about banker's hours. And I'm like, dude, you only work 4 days a week. So I don't know what you're talking about, but now we work around the clock. I think some of us are sick because we've been working too much, but we love what we do. And we are trying to get everything out, pushed out as fast as we can. There's a lot of good questions. I kind of want to tell a quick story of how we started. I've been doing this almost 2 years now. And when we started, we were at a little house. It was an office, but it was a little house that was turned into an office built in like 1920. We put some folding tables in the front room, brought in our cars, our computers, and it was freezing cold up there. It's up in the mountain area, and it was super cold. I'm going to take this off. I don't know if I can do this or not, but I'm going to do it. So I'm going to show you where we're at right now. This is at a partner's. This is who's been doing all the technology and what they've grown. I kind of want to show you, if I can, with my camera. Let me turn off my virtual background. So this is the little cube I'm in. Not sure, but I kind of want to show you just a quick glimpse of where we started out at that little office. So you can see kind of that way of all the people. Let me walk over here real quick. So sorry. Can you guys hear me, Prelvis? Can you still?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
And then this is the other side. You can see all the offices down there and all the computers as well as down there. So anyway, I wanted to show that to you. Jay's just past Jay. So here's Jay right here in this little cubby. There he is. So, all right, enough of that. But it's kind of cool to see what we've grown into from that little house in the mountains that was frozen, and we'd have to bring in little heaters and work at that little lifetime table that we brought in. I'll put back my virtual background so it looks a little more professional. Anyway, I don't know. I just wanted to show that to everybody so they can kind of see where we're at, what we're doing. All right, let me get my notes here and get back on track.
I'm planning to come up there in 2023. So
Awesome. That'll be great.
Firsthand.
So there was a bunch of questions. I want to talk about our product first and how amazing it is. We've said, hey, we want to off-ramp and on-ramp fiat or cash. We can do that. You saw that in the presentation today. That's a big part of the crypto world, is actually spending your cash. I've been living on our product with my paycheck going to our product and our debit card for I don't even know how many months now. So I love it. We have a really good product. You saw Rylan. He is working hard he came in and says, guys, we have way too many clicks to purchase a product or set up our card. And he is working on a lot of updates to make it easier, make it more user-friendly. And we are going to get this to the world. The product that we have that's working right now is the exchange and the card, and it's in the US only. We did just sign a contract with a global partner. Those of you who have been with us for a long time, we started out with a global partner that we had some problems with, and they didn't promise everything or deliver everything that they promised. So we had to refigure. We brought some people in. Jay helped big time with this and got us a US product in a very short amount of time, as well as give credit to our dev team. I said, I love our team. I love every one of our team members. We work hard, and you know, we've talked about the Scrum Master. There's so much more than the Scrum Master. Nick's great, and I can't even explain the background work that's been done. So there's a question here. I'm gonna get the questions now of which blockchain will we be launching on. It will be the Switch blockchain, which is amazing. We will be building a bridge to an ERC20 token, and that will happen later. But I think it was in Adrianne's slideshow that it showed the steps, and there is definitely steps in the blockchain world of what you need to do, what you need to create. So we're creating the blockchain as well as our product at the same time. We've always, since we've been started, we want it to be a blockchain with a purpose. Our purpose is to have a debit card and an exchange to help people live on crypto, as well as introduce those people that may be hesitant to get into the crypto world. We want to make it easy. We want to make it comfortable for those that want to participate in the crypto world. We feel like we're doing that, and we will continue to move forward on making it easier, making it better, and being a super big time player in this market. Let's see some other questions. I'll have to scroll back. Sorry. There was a couple I definitely wanted to get to. We have asked those of you that purchased nodes way back when, we said we would do a retroactive distribution back to February 25th. That will happen. We are showing in a beta form the amount of rewards that you have earned by having your node on. So just know it's in beta, so that can be up and down. So it's not a set amount, and it has not been recorded on the blockchain yet. We are less than a week away of launching that blockchain, and hopefully within that week, as well as distributing and recording those rewards on the blockchain. And I think that was one of the questions as well by Ramonis, and I apologize if I said that wrong or not. And Serpa as well asked that same question. Let's see, maybe help me to anybody of any questions. Let's see. I think everyone's gotten answered. So yeah, definitely go look at our exchange. The products that we have to offer are, you know, a crypto debit card in the US and an exchange in the US. And you can use those together or separate. Obviously, if you look at our light paper and our action items that Scott talked about, it will help you earn more points, which essentially will give you a bigger percentage of the distribution for that day. So I would encourage you to get a card. It also lowers your fees on the exchange. On the trade fee, you'll notice if you have a black card, you do not have a trade fee, it's $0. The other thing that you may have noticed recently, if you're using other exchanges, some of them have put a 60-day window on. If you buy Ethereum, you can't send it anywhere. We still have lived up to our, not promise, but to our strategy of making sure that when you buy and sell crypto, that you can either off-ramp the cash or off-ramp your digital asset to another wallet in a quick amount of time. And we have lived up to that and are continuing to live up to speed as part of our strategy, and feel like we have an amazing product, and we appreciate the community being patient with us we have been working on this a long time. We are doing it the right way. We are studying out. A lot of this has never been done before. So we have to figure it out as we go, and then make sure our lawyers are okay with it, and sign off and move forward. And especially Adrianne will say yes or no. She mostly says, I have a question, and I get a little scared when that happens, but we have an amazing team to make sure we're providing what we said we provide, and we're continuing to do so. Appreciate everyone. I think all the other questions have been asked. Not sure if anyone has anything else. Throw it in the chat if you do, and I'd be glad to answer them.
So Brad, I really love the fact that you guys are making it so easy, because as you know, for those of us who've been around crypto or even heard about crypto that may be new to crypto, is the problem with crypto is the on-ramp, bringing fiat into crypto, right? And maneuvering that way. I love the fact that you guys are making it so convenient for people that aren't educated in crypto. That convenience means everything, especially for the new person that may get frustrated because of a learning curve. So I want to expound on that and make sure that people understand, what you're doing as far as the on-ramp, off-ramp process. And also on the flip side of that, when you do have crypto, if you do own a node or whatever, in order to monetize what you're earning from that node, it's important to, for the off-ramp process as well, to monetize it. We just showed how easy it was, to send it via the mobile app. And also I've seen other videos, you have the tap to pay option, with your mobile phone, so I love the convenience and how, Switch is evolving, or, just with this whole Web3 evolution, I think it's great, and I commend you guys for it. I want to say I appreciate, everything you guys are doing, all the hard work behind the scenes and making this happen. Oh,
Appreciate
I thought you had something to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, thanks. Appreciate that, Prelvis.
Yes. So I do have a question though, if you wouldn't mind. So with everything that has happened with, with the whole FTX debacle and now, with the announcement of Switch having a blockchain and things of that nature, and with everything that's going on in crypto, right? We obviously know, those of us that are educated in crypto, we know that a lot of the bankers, the big financial institutions, didn't like Bitcoin, or they don't like crypto, but they like the blockchain technology. We know, JP Morgan and Chase, or Jamie Dimon has made statements, just recently within the last few months, as far as he was talking about taking down his whole credit card department. And the reason why is because he also made a follow-up statement. Anyone that's employed here, and I'm paraphrasing here, anyone that's employed here will basically get fired if they, opposed against it. Now, we start digging deeper into that, and what we found was that JP Morgan and Chase, or Chase Bank, I should say, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Citigroup, all these different huge financial institutions are claiming their position, their stake in the metaverse. And I know that was a long, drawn out way to get to where I'm going, but where do we, if you can speak on this, if you can't, I understand, where do you see Switch in the, or will Switch have a presence in the metaverse? How about that?
Well, it's interesting. In the metaverse, we've had a bunch of people ask us for ability to come and talk to them about the ability for off and on ramp of fiat. So yeah, we would love to be a part of the metaverse and actually be the bank in the metaverse. We're not a bank, obviously, we're a fintech company, we don't have a charter or anything like that, but we would love to be that payment provider and exchange provider in the metaverse. So Are we a part of it yet? No, we're not, but we would love to, and we entertain any options or opportunities that we may have in that arena for sure. So yeah, are we a part of it now? No, but are we open to the idea? Absolutely. And so there's a couple of questions too that I just about the company nodes. So the company nodes, just like we've said all the time, it's a 75-25 split, and it's in the light paper as far as November 17th. Then it went full, and all the nodes of the company are on, as well as, and they're all the same. They're on the same, they get the same points now moving forward from November 17th forward. Hopefully that answers that question. I know it's been asked a couple of times. And then the other question is power pay for green. So green is, they got a kind of a new person over there. We're all different companies, so I'm not exactly sure, but they are fixing and getting some things up to speed on their end. And power pay is in our scope. That's a developing or a developer type of phrase, but it's in our scope, and it's on a roadmap as far as our scope goes to get back with them and partner with them on power pay. But they are working on some other cleanup items on green. And let's see, there's someone else. So what exchange did you white label? We used Prime Trust as our US exchange. Estimated time for switch token launch. So within the next week, we will have the switch token or switch. We don't call it the switch token, the switch rewards or the switch blockchain launched. So, and then that's a good question. How many of the tokens from the company nodes can be sold each year to not dump the price? And there is a restriction on those, kind of like, it's not, I kind of comparing it to RSU, those of you who have been in that world. But yes, there is a restriction. And we actually do the company nodes to protect big, huge dumps happening in that first year, because so many are distributed. We're not here to dump our own coin. We wouldn't establish and pay millions of dollars for all the developers each month to create a product like we have with an exchange and a debit card. And those aren't even tied together anyway. So good questions. What is the maximum dollar amount of crypto you can buy each day, and how is it determined? So you can buy 1 million. Well, it's broken out to, and we're going to put a chart on our website not to get into the weeds, but that will be on our website as well. We'll have the exact breakdown. So that's a great question, but you can go to our website, and I'm sure Scott's getting some great blogging ideas to create as well. When will the products be available for purchase with Switch Rewards? We have a couple that we've already have ready. The hard part about that is it's like, all right, what are we going to put above the other things that we have to develop to make that? So we're hoping mid next year. I don't want to give exact time, but we have to have our global card ready to be able to make the marketplace work too, because we want to create that fair, to the whole world, not just the US customers. Yeah, whoever just put that on the event, they look at the light paper. It's in there. If people have 1 to 10 Switch Smart Nodes, go look at the light paper. I'll answer that question. And I think we have, in what jurisdiction is Switch Reward Card? So right now, the US, we are working globally to get that done. All right, we've gone past our half hour. I think we answered any questions. I think that's it. So appreciate everyone's patience, throwing out these great questions. Let's turn it over to Scott to give those light nodes away.
Yes, sir. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, this was fun. I know we went over a little bit what we expected to, but I think we got a lot of people's questions answered, which is great. So we had 2 winners. Again, we had the first person to retweet our last tweet, and the first person to post on Instagram story. Our Twitter winner is Nexisum Sleep Wellness Center. So I will send them a message on Twitter to get their information. And on Instagram is my friend and yours as well, Billy Womack, was our Instagram winner. So But yeah, we appreciate it. We've never done a giveaway on a call like this, so we just want to do something fun. I hope everyone enjoyed the call. Again, we'll be posting this, the video on our community call hub page on our YouTube channel, where you can watch all our previous videos. And then on this next slide, we've got all our social media links, as well as contact for support. Support has a ton of information, as well as our blog. Support has a ton of frequently asked question articles, live chats. We are super, super proud, super happy to have our support. So please take advantage of that resource. Thanks again, everybody. If we don't talk to you soon, Merry Christmas from our family to yours. Happy holidays. And you know, you can go to the YouTube and watch that dancing video of Brad.
Hey,
That's great.
One last thing, Scott. I just want to say thank you for being persistent and kept asking me to be a part of this. I'm excited. I know I was a little nervous at first and kind of all over the place, but I calmed down. I always get like that. But you know, I just want to leave everybody with this. Everybody wakes up with a chance and a choice. It's up to you to take that chance to make that choice to go switch. All right.
There you go.
Well
Happy
done.
holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas, everyone. See you.
Yeah.